So, are you still
Yeah,
okay?
just imagine Ron,
Oh,
or not.
you know, I think he's darling, but so annoying. It's like when the Irish setter comes in the room and its tail's wagging and it knocks everything off the table, and it just wants to please you, and it's so happy, and there you go.
Well, you asked for volunteers.
I feel it too.
Yeah.
You're being your face day.
Do you want Cotton to play with you?
Sure you wanna?
They want to be raw?
Yeah.
Okay, they're gonna play AA, and we have to be ready to come in on the B.
Okay.
And
Not too fast and not like Alistair, you know, I mean, we can't keep up with it.
I can't do like Alistair.
Alright.
For now, let's do each tune twice, they're kind of hard tunes, as most Frasier tunes are.
I feel it. It hurts. Hey, watch.
No, faster.
Because I have to turn the page. So I have to glue page
Yeah.
3 to 2.
Yeah, and then you can use Scotch tape and you fold it in so it doesn't stick out.
I've received training on this from,
I didn't even see my notes here. It says,
yeah.
God, look.
It's just I hadn't done it. I hadn't quite gotten to that one.
Mine isn't fixed either, I have
We're
wet
gonna
feet.
have cut and paste in the morning.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
gonna get together, anybody got cut and paste in the,
Okay, let's do Sky Barbecue twice. We're lagging. We're going slower.
Yeah.
But I don't have a metronome. I forgot my metronome, so I might get one on my phone. But
Did you have one on your tuner?
no, it's just a tuner.
Yeah, I had one.
You have 4 buttons or 3? The back button is, if you have 4, the back one is a metronome.
Oh, I thought that was the one. It doesn't do anything.
No,
No,
I don't think mine has a metronome.
I thought that was how I turned it upside down all the time.
Well, sometimes that happens too.
Oh, well, son of a gun.
Yeah, you've had a metronome the whole time. It's
I've
very
had a
helpful.
metronome the whole time,
And so the arrows on the side, the left and the right, will move it up
but
and
I
down.
can't. It just goes to 60 or something.
No, it'll go up or down.
All right. Well, anyway, Sky Barbecue.
So we're
1, 2, 3, 4. Would you set your metronome to 100? Let me see what that's like. We should aim for 100. Let's just practice the next couple of days and see how fast we get. And Mike will play the boward. Come up and play the boward on wooden whale. That's what he did it on, I think, in the concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll tell him to go back. Good. All right. Let's see. Where are we now? How do I keep losing it?
Next. Napkins?
Pardon?
Cut and paste the arrow, cut and paste
Cut and paste. Oh, yeah.
and tape.
Captain Campbell's. Is that what's next?
Yes.
Okay. What does it say on the, how many times? Oh, it's this. That's not it.
It
That's not it.
says all 2 times.
All 2 times?
On
Okay,
this tune,
good.
there's the Scottish, does, a lot of Scottish music does this dissonance. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a duck or a, so you hit the, like those last, yeah.
So it's trying.
You start hitting the G and the A, and then you end just on the A.
Got it.
Or,
Some of those endings.
Now this is Cape Breton, so it's
So the last,
music.
the last A on the first line,
Cape Breton is not smooth.
yeah,
They clog to these.
Okay.
So that's just so unusual. It just okay. 2 times each for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Lorna, have you guys been playing Captain Campbell's as a Cape Breton Strathspey, or has it been flowing and smooth? At your rehearsals here,
Yes.
or somewhere,
Right,
in the apple orchard, which is,
right.
have you been playing Captain Campbell's as a Cape Breton Strathspey? Okay, so anyway, all right, good. Let's play the last 4 bars and try to get into Father Francis Cameron. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 notes there, so we leave both out.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Do we do that?
Yeah.
You only
We
look
have
at
the G sharp? Okay,
But
so
we
it is
don't,
just
we
one.
don't break up the rhythm.
It sounds better if you.
Yeah, we do, we stop.
Well, we just leave out a
Just,
eighth
just an
note.
eighth rep.
Yeah. Just leave out the F sharp.
Does that make sense?
But the rhythm keeps going.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. So right now, that's the most lugubrious and heavy that we've played, but,
We were slowing down. We were slowing.
yeah. Yeah. This used to be our go-to set many years ago when we were all practiced, but I just sort of let it.
Remember the sea lions and
Yeah, the sea lions in Alaska liked it, huh? Okay, a song, we'll talk about that tomorrow. London and Layla, have you figured out what you want to do?
We have, but we're not ready for it right now. But we'll be ready tomorrow.
Okay. Fine.
Okay,
Is it a surprise?
consider it that. That's why.
Okay. Rowing from Ilex Uist, Kada leads us 2 times. Now, this is a test. You guys are all gonna have to look and figure it out later, which other tune starts exactly like it.
El Big.
The one we just played earlier.
El Big.
Yeah, so,
Just like to row.
On.
Okay, here we go. Cello, I'd like an E minor down. An E, yeah, or a B.
you better.
E, yeah, thank you. One, that's too fast.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
So just let the cello drone away and then you go into it. Let the cello,
A little bit less wind up the
Yeah.
street.
Yes, that's right. Okay,
So-
so start with the drone and hang on to the drone.
so it's written in
Okay.
6/8, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
You
Okay.
guys come in on the second time through the A. Yeah? Is that okay?
The second time through
Second
the
time
A.
through
Okay.
the
Okay.
A. 2,
Be a little higher.
ready, go.
times already.
It was 2 times.
Was it 2
Yeah.
times?
Yeah. For now, 2 times. If it has to be longer some other time,
It
well,
was 1 time through the page.
Yeah.
that was 2 times. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16 bars in the A part, 16 bars in the B part, and we played it twice.
I feel like we played it twice, but maybe
we
we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Does
Your
anybody else feel like?
page,
We didn't.
your page is not twice through the tune.
My page
The
is
page is
once.
different?
Mm-mm. Let's do it again. Starting from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But it's just.
Now we're at the top. 2 times through the tune is AAB, AABB, AABB.
Right,
Correct.
so that's what we've gotten to just now, including the first time we played it through. We've
No.
only played it through once the first time.
Well, first of all, do you play a solo?
She only plays 1A.
Just
All she
1A.
did was play 1A. I think you're right, because I
Oh, I
only
know, because
remember.
I'm reading, I was
Yeah.
reading the music and I got
Okay.
down to there and
That's exactly what ours looks like too. I mean.
No, she has an arrangement. The arrangement, I
Has a
believe, is
harmony.
incorrect. Let's do it again and get this sorted out.
Okay.
why don't we sort it out
Well, let's just
tomorrow?
count the measures.
Yeah, count the measures,
I
1,
mean,
2,
we'll
3,
just-
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in the A part
A, yeah,
and 16 in the B part.
BB. And then we do it again.
Yeah, and then we do it.
And then we
Yeah,
do it
I
again.
only remember like doing that
Fine.
whole,
Yeah, the whole, we
the
only
whole,
did it
we only
once.
did it,
Yeah,
we did it once and then,
Okay,
And
if you
then-
don't wanna do it now, fine, go on.
yeah.
Drummond Castle, I won't do the work at School of Repentance, is that correct?
but,
Is that
but
correct?
both Marty and Jeanette think that we did it twice.
No,
But
yeah,
you know, I don't know.
You're wrong, but we'll
That's
do it
okay,
tomorrow.
we'll agree to
To
disagree.
Hey,
disagree.
I
We'll
played
figure
it
out
for 40
tomorrow.
years with Alistair,
I
twice
believe
through,
I
you
know.
know?
What do I know?
No, I
You
think
approve.
your arrangement is skewed is what I think. We'll try it tomorrow. Let's go on.
We could even compare them.
Could,
Ooh, let's do
What?
it.
I think that we should move on.
I think we should move on.
that's why I'm
I
doing
think
it.
we're
Drummond Castle, I won't do the work, and School of Repentance, twice through,
You sure?
each.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Does that tune want to go faster?
Well, they all do, and we slow down to kind of an unacceptable lugubrious rate.
Lugubrious.
Yes.
I need to look that word up. That's what I'm sure what that means.
I think gloomy.
And no, spreading,
I think
Out.
it may be like laborious.
no, it means like
Goobers.
spreading out
Goobers.
slowly.
Sluggish.
Yeah.
Lugubrious.
It's gonna be on some SAT
Oh, you guys.
No, I think words
graduate
are
record in an exam.
fun.
Ding, 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 ding.
Are we at our, let's see, how can I keep losing
Seneca
my,
Square Dance.
yeah, and Soldier's Joy and
Independence
Soldier's Joy,
Trail.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, starts with mashed potatoes. 2 times through, don't slow down. No, no, we just didn't.
Are you doing a single bone?
I was doing at first. Yeah. What was going on with the down bow on the do on Sanika? Yeah, you guys all had a down bow on that E that's tied. Can you show me the B part? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You want down on that. Yeah. Yeah. Down.
I don't want these to sound Scottish. I don't want them to sound symphonic. I don't play them like they're written. Ick. Look away and just play them. I play them like I'm at a jam.
Okay.
If we were recording, I would strive to sound exactly like what it says, but it's not quite right for most
The
regions
style.
of the country. Independence.
So you can do slur two, separate two, slur two.
I'll keep my eye out.
Listen to some. That's the best way. Not bluegrass, old time.
Okay.
Because there is a difference. Oh, there's that.
So who brought the first fiddle over to,
Kentucky?
America?
I don't know.
The first fiddle to America?
Yeah,
Ooh, let's find out.
from,
Siri.
somewhere.
Well,
Siri probably
to the
does
US?
internet, yeah, I mean
Or
to the Americas. It
Probably-
must have been somewhere in
probably
Canada
probably.
or in Cape Breton.
Oh, probably
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
It was probably,
I mean,
it was
And
probably
they
the
came right
Vikings.
Yeah, because the Vikings were here. Vikings and the Spanish.
Probably an English or an Irishman because, well, Hatfields and McCoys,
And who
I
brought the second fiddle over?
First of all, they were playing.
So pretty soon there were like thousands of fiddles.
Yeah, so early 1500s, the Spanish and Portuguese explorers probably brought them over.
Spanish,
Ah,
the Spaniards in Mexico.
But the 1600s, they became more common.
Yeah.
But the first, yeah.
Now, the bigger question is who brought the first piano to Quebec?
that is a bigger question.
Two.
It's a bigger
Who
instrument.
brought the first piano
It
to
snows a lot in the winter.
Who brought
It
the
came on a ship.
Spanish brought the first fiddle.
This one's a lot more specific.
What were they playing?
First piano brought to Quebec is widely believed to have arrived in 1775. Imported from England by Governor Guy Carleton.
Okay, there you go.
maybe you should read that on stage.
No.
Cross first.
Piano to Quebec.
Independence Trail, Galen's Road, Chalk
Left
Top,
turn.
Toe Tag
Stop,
Seat.
stop.
Somebody must have been.
1, 2, ready, play. It's in 12/8. So,
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, da 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 da. Okay. 1, 2, 3. have to get the cobwebs out.
Yeah.
And it's the market, you know, we could just play these a million times through. Old Faithful, is it?
I'll tell
Yes.
I'll tell them. Come on, Walker. That we're running
I'll try to
behind.
play that. Independent.
It wasn't so bad, was it?
No,
No.
I just never heard it. Used to know.
Yeah, see, I played it with Beth a few times.
2 times each for now.
So I got a chance to hear it.
Old Faithful, Kiss the Last, She Loved the Best, Iggy and Squiggy, and then what's the other one I don't have?
Molly
Molly
Rankin.
Rankin.
Molly Rankin, yeah.
And in my daughter house,
Oh, yeah.
I have them all,
Yeah, I lost them all.
cropped them and cut them, so.
Okay,
We can
how are
use
you
this.
doing? Should we just mush on through this set?
Might as well.
Mush.
What? Mush what?
I said, how are you feeling? Shall we just mush on through the whole set? I think we're,
Yeah,
We're close to the end.
I'm going to do the whole set for the
um,
first time.
I would like to go over space available at Raven because a lot of people haven't played that in a while. You have, okay. There's already a snaps are incorrect in the binder version, and I don't have they aren't correct. Alistair doesn't play it that way.
Yeah.
We told them to play
Luckily.
This version or the concert version?
this version.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not how we used to play it. I don't care. We're just gonna play it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. slogging my crew.
Yeah.
What was the word?
Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
Please look it up on their phone. It might mean bright green couch for all I remember.
Did we slog lugubriously?
Yeah.
I need to look it up.
It was okay. What I always do is when we have pieces that everybody can't keep up with, I always just play them slower. I wouldn't do the stomping of the feet and look at you guys weirdly on stage, ever. I just smile and we go with what we can. The best thing is to follow the piano, not the drummer, follow the piano and stay with him. Because
He knows.
he knows the song. I mean, Mike's been playing rodeos in a rock and roll band for the last month, you know. Breaking drumsticks. Breaking drumsticks.
Wow.
We might have to rein him in a little bit. We'll see, you know. Space available, Raveling Reel. Let's do it because at the market, we'll definitely play it, but maybe not on some of those stage shows. Then I want to go over your thing. I want to find out what's wrong with that.
What?
The slow one, because the last time we played it,
Yeah, you know, I think it's so slow.
That you think you played it twice and you only played it once.
no, Lillian, not that one. Okay, space available.
Okay, here we go.
I'm supposed to start this, by the way.
Oh, good, Lillian 1A.
Okay.
What?
Two more songs, right?
You know
Two
what I'm
more.
playing? Is there another one? There's like Keep Written Home and Jig
Two
of Slurs.
slurs.
We could,
What is that, two? Is that
well,
one? And the-
some of us aren't old enough to quit yet. And let's play the Jig of Slurs. One time the page. Here.
Dave,
No,
Dave,
we don't have time for you to find it.
10:38.
10:38.
10:38.
You guys.
Oh, yeah, it's so
Lady, do you think we're too noisy is all I'm thinking about over here?
Everybody used to
Close the
it.
door?
Close the door.
Okay, you guys okay with that?
The fan is on, so I can hear you.
No, I heard him talking to Lorna today. He says it was the 2 to 3 a.m. thing that.
The cello, and Akata, and who?
Oh, they
Oh,
got in
blame it
trouble.
on me, huh?
Yeah, well, you guys played till
The
one.
cello
It
really
was
carries.
never 3, it was 1.
That's right.
Okay, Jig of Slurs.
Nice.
So, when I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, what does that mean in the jig? 1, 2, 3, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. On an apron. So if we play it just once at the farmer's market, what do you guys do, Kata, when you play Jig of Slurs?
I'll play the whole thing.
And but how do you end it?
I think we just did.
Okay, yeah, because I just said let's play it once. But, all right. I thought you might have a fancy. Okay, let's just be done.
Okay.
I'm done. We're done. Kata's done, so we're done.
As far as the hours of sleep
You
is
put in a big day.
You don't want to play, a lot of people drove a lot today. But we didn't play Dill Pickle and Rag.
Well, we didn't do
Let me try.
that's a song. Play it with Nick, practice it right now then. We're gonna let them practice Dill Pickle Rag, but making
Yeah,
noise.
go for it. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, have fun.
What does that mean?
We're so exhausted, I mean, with.
Do you want
with
to,
Dave.
or do you want to do it tomorrow? Tomorrow.
Now it's fine.
Now? Okay, we'll do it now.
Yeah. If you can do it now, you can do it tomorrow, you know, do it now.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're
Doug will be happy when you quit.
I have to follow you because I forget the tune, but that's okay.
Let's go, Lennon.
Do you start first or?
Can I go?
The end.